It's another episode of Crypto Grownups. Today I'm talking about metal, and I'm going to give you 4 reasons why it pumped and where I think it's going to go next. So why are we talking about metal? Well, it's pumped over 15% versus Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. It's had a massive run-up over the last 7 days, and randomly my mom mentioned it to me. So something's going on. From the 4 reasons, the biggest reason is this kid right here, Eric Finman. He's famous for having invested $1,000 in Bitcoin back when it was only $10 a Bitcoin. He won a bet with his parents that he would be a millionaire before going off to college. Didn't have to go to college. Long story short, he's now making Doc Ock tentacle suits and all these other crazy investments, and he's betting it all on metal. He said that he's willing to put up to 400 Bitcoin into metal. So that's a big deal. You know, this guy gets a lot of media attention, and that's, a big deal. So that's why the price is pumped. That's one of the reasons. You've got this big time personality and, a sizable investor saying that he's coming in to help the app. So what's the second reason? Well, the second reason, if we go to their website, we can find some, let's see. Here we go. On the website, the day after he announces he's investing, it's listed on Binance. So that's a 1-2 punch. And Binance being a huge exchange, look, all of this was obviously connected. Him announcing that he's doing his thing, then Binance Listing be announced the same day. Do I love that that's the effect, that was all planned? No, that sucks. But that's what happened. So that's the second reason why it pumped, because Binance listed it. The third reason, well, I think there's a lot of just media coverage. The fact that my mom heard it is crazy. Also, I don't know how this happened. You guys might have seen this too. This image right here has been trending. It's like 2 years old. It was somebody's, whatever this guy's name, Kelly's portfolio. And metal's right here, 5%. And when you're like putting in metal, which is very low on the crypto market cap, we'll check it soon. Comparing it to things like Ethereum Classic, Zcash, Ripple, I mean, that's a big deal, So you're automatically putting in this echelon. People are like, oh, let's look at metal. We know it pumped on the 19th, going up to the 20th to the 22nd, and then it pumped again on the 25th, 26th, right now, the last 24 hours. Where's its ranking? What's its ranking? 151st. So comparing it to the rest of the coins, which were all top 10, top 20 coins, that's definitely a good comparison that metal gets to inherit. So I don't know how that image started circulating. So those are 3 reasons. The fourth, I think it's TA related. I'm not a TA guy. So anybody out there that's a TA person who wants to come on the show to teach me or wants to explain like what I'm missing on this metal play. So, I go to Twitter. I do a $ metal and I do a search and I see, this guy puts this chart and he says, major cup and handle myself, jewel face metal. And, somebody else called it a classic wedge, falling wedge formation. So there's obviously some sort of TA that's driving this for after the news. And then the news obviously influences the chart. So, this is what happens. I'm one of these people that looks for information, right? So that's why it pumped. Now the question is this legit? Should I buy it? Where do you think the price could go next, Dean? Well, there's a few red flags. I'm going to be honest. And there's 2 things to separate. One's the app and one's the coin. Now, I'm going to talk about the app first. The app is gorgeous. Like if you play around with it, I'm not going to show you, my version of it, but like the UI interactions are amazing. You can see the colors. It looks like Apple made it. Whoever is the designer, I feel like I've read about this designer before, that they've made some big things. The app is gorgeous. The UI UX is amazing. The user experience, and it's like a Venmo, and it's FDIC insured, which means if anything were to happen, your money would be insured would be covered by the U.S. government. So those facts alone make it a really cool app, right? Now, that has nothing to do with the coin, right? And what do we want with the coin? Well, usually we want a consensus algorithm that's like proof of work. We want to know that there's a fixed cap, and we want it to be decentralized, right? Because decentralization means, we all agree, no one controls it, and that's where they fail on the first one. So whenever I'm looking up, I'm looking to see like what they're talking about, what they're comparing it to, what's the mission, about the coin. A few things, they beat out Libra. Yeah, I would compare this a lot to the Libra. They also say they're trying to replace Bitcoin, which for me is like blasphemy. That right there is the reason why I'm going to call you out. Like, don't say that, man. Like, don't attack Bitcoin. And I see that you call it a bold claim. It's a huge bold claim. Big mistake. And he also says he likes to say we have dragon energy, which makes me think of Charlie Sheen, the Tiger Blood guy. So you've got dragon energy, you're a young kid, you're making these huge statements. Now look, it's Eric Finman. It's not like an MIT professor or a Nobel laureate, which some of these other projects have. So, let's also think about that, right? Like his stamp of approval comes from the fact that he got, either lucky or whatever with buying Bitcoin at that price. Lucky, obviously. But these are red flags so far, that you're comparing yourself to Bitcoin, that you're going to beat Bitcoin, and you're talking about dragon energy. So, okay, whatever. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's look at your white paper. Now, it wasn't easy to find the white paper. And also, there's a few things that jump out. Like I see the word privacy here in the abstract. They also mention it in the introduction questions around privacy. And then when I tried to look further about discussion about privacy in the white paper, nowhere in the white paper is it ever mentioned again. Like privacy is an afterthought after being two of the, it's in your main abstract and in your, list of 7 things you're doing amazing. And if we scroll down a bit, this just stood out. I didn't even have to read. Using a centralized form of KYC. Wow. Obviously their privacy goes out the window. And then centralized, we've already talked about that. So, it's not like there's any technology, helping here. The consensus algorithm is proof of processed payments. There's nothing mathematic in the white paper that talks about it. Not that I need math, but I'm reading it and I'm not seeing anything that makes me feel that this is going to be compatible, competing with proof of work for its ability to withstand changes. And it doesn't need to, because it's centralized at the end of the day. So that, when you're comparing this to other cryptos, you're comparing it to Libra. And then we see that they are going to be minting 26 being distributed, 26 million being distributed out of 66. That means they're doing what we call a pre-mine. So when we talk about coins, pre-mine is something you definitely don't want to hear, right? You don't want to hear that they're holding on to it for future value. And that to us is a big no-no. If they're doing a pre-mine of 10%, okay, you want to pay yourself a little something for inventing this and bringing it to the world. I get that. 60%, that's kind of rich, right? So I went through and tried to read some of their discussion about how proof of what is this again? Proof of processed payment works, and they have all these GIFs of people doing math. Look at this guy, and no, this is not complicated. This is not complicated math. This is elementary school level math, and no matter how many times you put pictures and GIFs from The Hangover to act like this is complicated, no, it's not. It's very simple and straightforward. What you're saying, basically that it's not a guaranteed amount. The $50, it's going to be distributed based on your pop score and different transactions you do. I get it. You've laid out these rules so the system isn't gamed. It's going to be gamed. It's very easy for people to make accounts to get fake KYC data and then interact with each other. Okay, then you're going to close their account, but they've already got the metal. Either way, I don't even have to go into these details. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking about those details when it's a centralized piece of what. So, okay, I'm happy you think you're going to beat Bitcoin. Ultimately, any problem somebody has with Libra, they're going to have with this times 2. So let's leave aside that part. Okay, it's not a viable cryptocurrency because it's centralized. It has no privacy whatsoever. And like ultimately, there's this huge pre-mine. It's a get-rich-quick scheme. Do I think that the app is great? The app is great, but I'm very annoyed with a lot of the decisions. Now, I did read somewhere that they're going to they're going to reissue their white paper. So if in the new white paper they change the pre-mine and they move away from this rhetoric that they're better than Bitcoin, I'll give it a shot. If somebody at Metal wants to come on and talk with me, 100%, because really, you have a beautiful app. And I understand the need for a currency in the app. Like it could be like BNB, you know? But don't sit here and start making claims like, oh, it's better than Bitcoin. You know, and I tried to do some research to find something to explain why this spiked in the last 24 hours. It has to be TA based. So with that, should you buy it today, right now? If you have insider information about it being listed on Coinbase, yeah, you should definitely do it. If like you know somebody there. If you can look at the app rankings, I don't have App Annie. If you do, and you can see that it's going up in the rankings, buy it. I mean, it means people are adopting it, you know, and if that's working, you know, then the price will go up. That makes sense. More liquidity is being captured in their system, the price will go up. But barring those things, and of course the changes we want to see to the white paper, if you're not a TA person, stay away. This is not Bitcoin. Don't even think it's Bitcoin. There's a reason why it's ranked 151st. It was an ICO in 2017. This kid that has a Dr. Octopus suit has come and given it his stamp of approval. He could be brilliant. I've never talked to the guy. I haven't read that much. I would love to talk to him. What I'm just saying is, like right now, there's a lot of red flags. The app itself sounds awesome. If there's a way to use the app without having to interact really with this weird token of theirs, do it. And I think there is, right? Ultimately, it's a customer acquisition cost for them, right? They're giving you this token that has no real value, right? The value of the token is going to increase as there's captured liquidity inside the app. And ultimately, it's a customer acquisition cost. And it can compete with a Venmo. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's the fact that it's FDIC insured. I would use it. I don't know why you have to sell us this lie. Like, be real, be legit. Say, look, this is not better than Bitcoin. This is just something our company uses as a Chuck E. Cheese token, and you know that's how we're going to run our business. And we want to take 60% of the initial pre-mine. That's cool. Don't sit here and say that you're doing something for any other reason than the real business reason. If there's something I've misunderstood about the rationale for proof of processed payment and how that's a route towards a decentralized cryptocurrency, like if you have a roadmap to decentralization, please show it to us. That would make me change all of the things I've said. So, in conclusion, the 4 reasons: Finman's joined, Binance listing, some weird circulation of that portfolio picture, and I suspect recent TA. That's why it's pumping. Where do I think it'll go? I think that short term, like you're gonna have to play the Keynesian beauty contest, right? You're gonna have to guess what other people in the market are gonna say. But from a fundamental standpoint, it's horrible. Like I don't like it when you're trying to sell something that isn't what it is. If you stick to the truth, I will support you. If you guys want to come on the show and talk about it, I'm down. If anybody wants to come and teach me TA so I can do this stuff even better, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, stay away. Guys, take care. Have a good one. Peace.